R con R cigarro, R con R barril, rápido ruedan las ruedas detrás del ferrocarril. You try.
What did you just say?
One of the hardest parts for a foreigner to learn Spanish is rolling their R's. Most people from a native English-speaking country, the vast majority, have this issue. Hi, my name is Dustin Luke. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm fluent in Espanol. This is my story about how I learned to roll my R's and maybe a little pointer to help you get a little bit closer to sounding native. Let's get started. Okay, first and foremost, let me preface this by saying that I went to an elementary school that was super international. It was a public school, and we had a bunch of Latinos that had just come to the United States, and so they needed to teach us basic Spanish. So they would come to my class maybe once or twice a week for 30 minutes and teach us basic Spanish. Lunes, martes, miércoles. So that was helpful. Then you had my mom. My mom, although she doesn't speak Spanish, she would often throw things out there just to kind of get me motivated or get me thinking, you know? My mom would always say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, I know these things don't have anything to do with rolling your R's, but it got me thinking, you know? So the exposure at a young age was extremely helpful. More importantly, a family friend who used to always hang out with my parents, she would always come over, and when she would talk to me, she would always play around and we'd always have jokes and stuff. But one of those jokes was always about a commercial, a chip commercial that back in the day, let's say late 80s, early 90s, was a commercial for the potato chip company, Ruffles. And they would say, Ruffles have ridges.
Ruffles have ridges. Oh, try this. Ranch? Ruffles have ranch? You all right? Ruffles have ranch ridges.
Try new ranch-flavored Ruffles potato chips.
Ruffles ridges have ranch. That's what it is. Ruffles have ridges.
And she would always get me to say that and push me to try to roll my R's. Having, again, this exposure at a young age kind of got me thinking, got me exposed to it, gave me a little bit more confidence as I was growing up. But finally, I want to teach you guys maybe a tip to speaking the R. Let's say that the R is not necessarily always a rolling R. Sometimes it can be a singular R. And one of those ways is the following. Let's think of the word 3 in Spanish, which is tres. Most native English speakers often will say tres, and that just doesn't work. It's not quite right. Let me give you a tip. Think about the way you say the word today. 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 You see how you roll off that D off of your tongue when you say today, today, today? Well, you can use that same beginning of the word today for the word tres. Today, tres, today, tres. Hopefully that kind of gets you a little bit closer to pronouncing the Spanish R. The double R, it is difficult. If I could describe it in a way, I would say, place your tongue on the roof of your mouth like this, right behind your teeth, and then you would try to blow air in between the roof of your mouth and your tongue and try to slightly tap your tongue towards the roof of your mouth. So you just keep practicing. Remember, my name is Dustin Luke. Follow me on social media, all platforms, the Dustin Luke. And nos vemos en el próximo video.
Close your eyes, baby. Close your eyes, feel the waves in degrees, baby. Feel the breeze in the skies on the road, baby.
R con R cigarro, R con R carro.